Not contained in my resignation.
Now, yeah, I have some experience.
16 years experience.
And so you said I should bring that to bear. So on this matter, there has been some precedents. Precedent means this is not the first time that status of members of parliament have arisen. I remember in 1993, I wasn't in parliament then, but in 1993, remember the case of Magbenga, Moses Magbenga?
Mabenga.
Yeah, I can always get it.
Mabenga.
Mabenga.
Yes, Mabenga.
Yeah.
So he also, there was some issue about his status. His party wrote to remove him from the party. And so he was going to lose his seat in parliament. And then I think your internal measures resolved that matter. But you remember Kofi Asante?
Yes.
Yes.
He was an NPP member. And he resigned. He wrote to the speaker that I'm leaving the NDC. And so the seat was declared vacant by election. And remember Wayo Seni?
Yes.
He also said, I'm resigning and I'm crossing carpets.
During the Dagbon.
Yeah, during the Dagbon matter. Okay. And then in the Siama, which is just the last one before this one, Siama, his party wrote to Parliament that he's no more a member of the party in 2020. So these are the precedents. Now, clearly, there is divided opinion about how to interpret the Constitution. Article 96, clause G and H. Now, Article 97. Now, Article 97 talks about the occasions that it provides for a vacation of seat in Parliament. And it's got a clause A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H. It's the G and H that we all agree are relevant to this particular case. Now, G says that the member shall vacate Parliament if he leaves the party of which he was a member at the time of his election to Parliament to join another party, or seeks to remain in Parliament as an independent member. Okay. And then H says that if he was elected a member of Parliament as an independent candidate and joins a political party. Now, like I said, there have been various interpretations on this clause. One interpretation is that the clause provides that if you leave your party of which you are a member at the time of your election to join another party. Now, the interpretation is that these people have not left their party and that they have signaled an intention that in the next parliament they will come under a different party. But in this parliament, they haven't crossed carpets. They haven't left their party. That is one interpretation. And when you look at the precedent that I gave, you will see that in all of them, either the people themselves wrote that we've left the party, we have crossed parliament, and so they come under G, or their party wrote that these people are no more members of our party. So all the precedent I gave, these two conditions, they themselves stating so, or their parties stating so that they've left. So the interpretation is that in this particular instance, they are still in the life of this parliament, staying where they are. They haven't crossed carpets. They haven't left parliament. The party hasn't written that these people are no more members of the party. And they themselves have not indicated that they are no more members of the party as of now. So that's one interpretation. Samuel Kujato brought the Okwe's
ruling.
Professor Okwe's ruling, and said that that's a good precedent. I agree, except that in that precedent, the party wrote to say that this person is no more a member of our party. In the current circumstance, no such letter has gone from the party.
So when you say you agree, what do you mean?
That's the precedent.
Okay.
But the basis of using it as the precedent, I'm saying you have to qualify it, because on that occasion, there was a letter from the party indicating clearly. Because the wording is, if he leaves the party of which was a member at the time of his election to join another party, Sami Okujeto himself raises the issue. He says that, have they crossed carpets?
Mm-hmm.
You yourself, Sami, raised the matter. Have they crossed carpets in this parliament? And he says that the constitution doesn't say, I'm quoting Sami Okujeto, it doesn't say whether it's a few weeks to election or whatever. And then he said that the test is that, have they crossed carpets? That one is subject to interpretation.
Does your party constitution, for example, because we have the...
My party constitution says that
yes,
if you go and support another party against the party, so for example, even me sitting here, if I come here and declare that John Mahama or Alan Tremantin should win the election and canvass support for him, I've automatically left the party.
What if you are an MPP MP?
I'm saying even me,
yes,
as an ordinary member.
Okay.
So even if you're an MP, it's
and you
even
were
more.
filed as an independent candidate, when
Yes,
the party
that's
has
it.
filed,
That's it.
you automatically cease to be a member.
Yes.
That's what your
Yes,
constitution
but the party must write.
Which law says that the party must write?
Because you see, in the NPP's constitution, the National Council of the party is also seized with, of which I'm a proud member, is also seized with the power to vary any condition.
That although your party constitution says that if you do this, you automatically forfeit your membership,
Yes.
you're saying that the National Council can decide that irrespective of the fact that we have flouted this, we will still keep you as a member.
The National Party has the power to vary. So the best thing is to wait for the party to write to you formally that, yes, as far as we are concerned, this person is no more. That hasn't been done. You see, I'm not for one side or the other. I'm just canvassing the issues. Because as we speak, there are some members of the NPP who agree with the Speaker Bagbin's ruling, and there are members who don't agree. Just like in any other matter, where the NDC has a position, you will find many members of the NDC who don't agree. Some of them resign from their positions on committees and so on, which shows that they disagree with some decision taken by their party. So on both sides, you have people contesting the issues. So even Sami himself, even though he didn't realize it, but he said that, have they crossed carpets? Can you interpret their filing to contest as crossing carpets?
Per your party's constitution, yes.
So the party must write to say that, yes, they've crossed carpets. The party hasn't written.
What will you say to somebody who says that until the party acts otherwise? So, for example, if the party had met and said that, look, we have this situation, there are 3 MPs who are contesting as independents, although the party has also filed candidates. However, we have decided that they will not forfeit their membership.
Yes, so until the party has what?
No, I'm saying that until the party takes any decision contrary to what it's stated in the party's constitution. The party's constitution says that if you do A, automatically you forfeit it.
You see, this constitution that I hold.
The 92 constitution.
Yes, and the provision. It doesn't even talk about party constitution.
Yes.
It makes its own provision.
Yes.
It says that if you leave
yes.
The party.
Yes.
So how do you decide that somebody has left their party?
Because
it's the party that should write to you. I mean, I'm saying this is one interpretation.
Okay.
It's the party that should write to you that, I mean, that this person, by our constitution, is no more a member of our party. And when you look at all the precedents that I gave you, there was notification to that effect. In the case of Magbenga, there was notification to that effect from the NDC party to the Speaker. In the case of Kofi Asante, he wrote under his own hand that he has resigned. He's no more a member. Same in the case of Wayo Seni. In the case of Esiama, the party wrote. So in two instances, Mabengba and Esiama, is the party that wrote formally to the Speaker that this person is no more a member of our party. In the other two cases, they themselves wrote. In this particular instance, we don't have notice from the party or from the individuals. So how do you determine that they have left their party?
Okay, because now that's why I keep asking you the question that in your party's constitution, it doesn't say that when the person does this,
1 second. But you see, this
the party must write to confirm whether he has.
This provision is not talking about party constitution.
Yes.
You see?
Yes.
It's not talking about party constitution. So it's up to the party to write that by our constitution, this person is no more a member of our party.
But your party's constitution is a public document. And your party's constitution does not say
I'm saying
that when a person breaches this
constitution,
the party must write
so now
for it to be valid.
So now the Speaker has put himself in a position where he is interpreting a party's constitution.
No, you're wrong.
The Speaker. Because the party hasn't written to him. So he is interpreting the party's constitution. But like I said, all of these matters are contentious. And so they will require a constitutional interpretation.
Really?
Yes. Because the constitutional provision, there's clearly a lacune. Which is that Samuel Kujate himself raised one. He says that, have they crossed carpet? We don't know. He said if he leaves the party of which he was a member, and some are even saying that their filing is an intention to leave their party. They are saying that in the next parliament, we will not be members of our party. But in this parliament, we haven't crossed carpets. We haven't left our parties. That's another interpretation of this provision. That's what I'm saying. People have gone to court to seek interpretation. And that is the way that our democracy and our jurisprudence, as far as it will grow. So I'm very happy about it. And I would have wished that Speaker Bagbin had taken notice of the filing at the Supreme Court, seeking an interpretation of this particular provision to make it tighter. There are so many provisions in the Constitution which in their implementation, clearly there's lacune. And then we have to go to the courts to give guidance on it. I mean, the Constitution cannot have everything. That's why you need the courts. So I would have wished that Speaker Bagbin had waited. But he decided to interpret the Constitution and give a ruling. And I'm sure he did that because he knows he will get away with it. Because he knows there's only, 2 months to the end of this parliament. And he doesn't envisage that the Supreme Court would hear the petition that has been filed before the court to rule on this matter. I'm sure he envisages that the Supreme Court is not going to rule on it before the end of this parliament. So he would get away with it. Unless, of course, an injunction is, the people who have been affected file an injunction in court to stay the ruling, pending the court's ruling on the substantive matter, in which case the court will be, as for injunction, the court can rule on it in 1 week. So if the members who are affected feel so that they disagree with the Speaker's ruling, they should quickly go and file an injunction, which can trigger a ruling in 1 week, asking the court to injunct, put on hold the Speaker's ruling. But otherwise, it still remains something in contention. Now, and I'm happy that it would advance our constitutional development. Because when Michael Quay gave his ruling on the Siama case, Samuel Kujato is saying that the NPP was happy with it. And
so they didn't go to the Supreme Court.
And so now they are then they went on to insult us terribly. That we are hypocrites and we are double talk and all of that. That's fine. But you see, at that time,
yes,
the majority leader objected to Okwe's ruling at that time.
So I have the Hansard here. So it's not on record. At where? Where was the objection? It's not true.
Maybe in interviews, not on the floor. Maybe not on the floor.
Can he produce the evidence?
No, maybe in radio interviews. He didn't say on the floor. It is
not true. I challenge him on that. It's not true.
Okay.
I'm saying the majority. Look, today, as we speak, there are people in the NPP, members of parliament, who agree with this ruling.
Yes.
Are you going to find it in the answer? So, for me, everybody should be calm. This would give and this is how constitutions develop. You get into a dispute about interpretation, you go to the courts, because the court is the only institution with the power to interpret the constitution. And then the court will give a directive. And then that makes our democracy to progress.
Now let me ask you a question. I'm a member of a political party. I'm in parliament on the ticket of a political party. My party's constitution is clear that if I decide to contest on a ticket other than my party's ticket, I automatically forfeit my membership.
Yeah.
I know the implication of that forfeiture of membership if I engage in that act. I still go ahead to engage in the act. What clearly are my intentions?
The intentions of those people, let's leave that to their intentions. Let's see what the Constitution says about their action. And what the Constitution says is that if you leave the party, of which you are a member, now, how do you interpret leave the party?
Then the party provides us that answer.
This provision, some will argue that it relates to this parliament. Crossing carpet. It is to prevent crossing carpet. And nobody has made allusion to it. Have the people crossed carpet? You see, have they crossed carpet? Have they left the NDC and come to the NPP in the case of the NDC member? Or in the case of the NPP member, have they left the NPP and crossed over to the other side? Or said that they will be independent?
They've left to become independent.
So, no, they haven't said they are in this parliament.
No, I'm saying that they've left the party. They have left.
In this parliament, have they crossed capital?
No, but they have
from
left.
Party to party or party to independent?
They have relinquished their membership of their respective parties by their party's constitution.
So let the party, don't interpret the party's constitution. Let the party.
It's not an interpretation, it's in black and white.
But you see, we're all talking about interpretation.
No.
Your interpretation is that by the party's constitution, they've left.
No, I'm not interpreting. All I'm saying is that the party's constitution is black and white.
That you've left.
That if the party has filed a candidate.
I agree with that. I'm saying that as far as this provision is concerned.
Yes.
Because it is not a party provision.
Yes.
This is the national constitution.
Yes.
Which doesn't talk about party constitution. It says that if you leave, so it's talking about an event on the floor. Not at your party or at your constitution. Talking about an event on the floor.
Okay.
That if your people voted for you to come in as a member of the NDC, and you change that membership from NDC to NPP or independent, then you are no more representing the interests of the people who sent you there. So you must go back to them.
Now, how do you change that?
Change what?
How do you change that in
As
Parliament?
we speak, the people haven't declared an intention to join the other party or be independent.
I'm saying that how do you change that?
Change what?
What you're talking about. How do you change that? Let's say you have been voted into office. You have been voted to Parliament as NPP. How do you change to NDC?
By crossing carpet. By crossing carpet.
How do you cross carpet?
You don't know how you cross carpet.
You know how? I want you to give me a
You know
example.
it. Why are you asking me?
No,
you don't know how you cross carpet.
No, how do you do it in this instance?
Why are you saying you cross carpet?
No, why are you saying you wrote?
Yes.
To resign from the
yes.
party.
And
Yes.
And then join the NPP.
No, I'm saying
or you resign.
He didn't join the NPP in Parliament.
But he wrote that.
He wrote to resign from the NDC.
And
he joined the NPP, and that necessitated a by-election. He didn't move from the left side to the right side, or the right side to the left side.
You are saying what I'm saying?
No.
You are saying what I'm saying?
No, I'm not.
Why are you saying he resigned?
Yes.
So he can't stay in Parliament when he's resigned from the party upon which ticket the people voted for him.
Yes.
Because of his resignation.
Yes.
So,
and these people, by their conduct, their party says that by their conduct, they have left the party.
Their party haven't written to you. See, that's the point. Their party hasn't written to you to tell you that by their conduct, they are no more members of our party.
No, but political parties are public institutions.
I know all
political party constitutions are public. So if the constitution doesn't say that if that happens, the National Council or whatever must take X, Y, Z steps. It says that once you do that, automatically, and if you read Professor Okoye's thing, in fact, the letter that the MPP wrote, Nana,
look at this.
Nana, the letter the MPP wrote to Speaker Okoye, they pointed out to the automatic forfeiture. They didn't say that. So as a result of that, we took them through process A or process B.
So what is Bagbin? What is Speaker Bagbin relying on? The NPP constitution, the NDC constitution, and not the national constitution. What is he relying on?
Both.
Really?
Yes, both. That's what I heard.
The constitution here doesn't refer to any party's constitution. The national constitution, the provision here, it says that if you leave,
what?
The party of which you are a member at the time of your election to Parliament.
Yes.
So it's not talking about.
But you can only
it's talking about.
Nana, you can only find the basis for the proof of your leaving the party in the party's rules.
Randy,
you won't find that in the national constitution.
I agree with you that is your interpretation, and you can canvass that interpretation. It's not a problem. That's why we go to the Supreme Court. But I'm saying that another interpretation is that this provision is meant or is refers to crossing carpets, joining another party in Parliament, or resigning. That is what it refers to. That is my interpretation. And that is why we're saying that this interpretation, if there's dispute, we must go to the Supreme Court.
Is forfeiture of membership not resigning, not resignation? Forfeiture of membership, is it not resignation?
Well, whatever it is, you are no more member of the party, whether you resign or not.
Yeah. So which
interpretation
do you need for that?
No, but that is the party's constitution. I thought this is the party's constitution. That is not the national constitution. The national constitution is saying something that doesn't refer to party constitution. But if you believe that, well, the national constitution also applies to party constitution, or the party constitution, it affects the national constitution, that's fine.
Right.
That's why we must go to the Supreme Court and get the interpretation. Now, Bagbin has put himself in the position where he has interpreted the constitution. He says there's a precedent. That precedent was underscored by a letter, formal letter. This one, there's no letter, but he's still going to interpret it. We will go to the Supreme Court, because that's what will bring clarity to the matter. You agree that when there's any constitutional dispute, it's the Supreme Court that will bring clarity and guidance to the matter. So I'm happy. But the thing is that the Supreme Court, I don't think it's likely that they are going to sit on this matter before the end of December. So Bagbin knows he will get away with it because of the timing and all of that. The immediate remedy in my mind is for any of these four affected people to file an injunction application at the court, that pending the Supreme Court's sitting and on the matter, Bagbin's ruling should be stayed. And that one, the Supreme Court can meet on it in a week, because this is an injunction application. And they can make the arguments that if the ruling is it's allowed to stand pending the application at the Supreme Court, they will get into some harm. Once they go and argue their case well, I'm sure they'll get an injunction, and that will stay in Bagbin's hand. But I'm happy that we are going to go to the Supreme Court to cure an obvious lacune in the provision of the Constitution that calls for G and 97 G and H. It will advance our democracy.